Welcome back to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roche, Remax Results.
And we have Eric Swift, Jeff Pico, Chris Lilja, Jen Hansen, and Stephanie Havel just joined us. Welcome, Stephanie.
Stephanie, hi.
Hey, good morning.
You look like you're ready to go out.
I am.
I love it. I love the outfit. You're all decked out. I love it.
Well, thank you. Gosh, that's very kind of you.
Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo, Jen Hansen with Team Stockwell, Eric Swift and Jeff Pico with Country Financial. And the first thing we want to talk about here is something that many of you listening out there have had issues with, know someone. I guarantee everybody probably in the world has had either the issues themselves, known someone at work or a family or you name it that has had neck or back problems. It seems like just looking at it from not a chiropractic view, just from me looking out from the outside, everybody has back problems. It seems like you hear about, oh, my back hurts, or oh, I'm taking a break because of my back, or I have a neck, or I have a migraine, or all these things, Chris. Right? I mean, so Chris Lilja with St. Paul Chiropractic and Natural Medicine Centers here, right on Hamlin Avenue in St. Paul, and want to just see what your take is on that. I mean, is it that we're just getting totally unhealthy, or what's happening here?
Too many.
Is our back not the way it's supposed to be? When we evolved and it never came to the way it was supposed to be, it's just chronic for problems, or what?
Well, first of all, Jason and Josh, never thanked you for being the off-topic guy in your show today. So I really want to thank you for allowing me to be here today. But you're right. 86-90% of all people in the population will have some kind of back problem over the course of their lives, and there's a myriad of different reasons why that happens. And people will all the time come in, they'll say, well, how did this occur? And I think the longer I'm in practice, my answers get more gray and ambiguous. I could just say, well, it's just kind of life. It starts when you're a kid, and most of us guys know that we beat the heck out of ourselves when we're growing up. The big things like work injuries and sports accidents and car accidents are the obvious ones.
Yep.
But more often than not, it's just an accumulation of life stressors that over time, and that these little things start small, and over time they start to talk to you in a language you can understand. Chiropractic is based on the musculoskeletal system, but more importantly, the nervous system. There's basically 3 different components to everybody's nervous system. 10% of the nerves that you have in your body are called sensory fibers, and they can feel pain, but the other 90% have got nothing to do with that. So
what? Really?
Yep. So there's motor nerves that.
So why is everybody in so much pain if only 10% of your body can sense pain?
Well,
doesn't that seem odd? Well, it seems like the other way around. 90% of your body senses pain and 10% doesn't.
Well, think about all the chronic conditions that we have in our society. You don't feel 80% or 90% of your arteries occluding, and then you have a heart attack.
Right.
Or,
Got it.
Or
wow, that's
arthritis takes
Yeah.
decades to develop, and then it starts to hurt.
Yeah.
So
very good
it hurts
point.
bad.
Huh.
Yeah. It's
So we're actually a very resilient people. Human beings are very resilient then with that. We're designed to have higher pain thresholds naturally.
We adapt and keep ourselves out of stress until our body starts to talk to us in a language we can understand. But we are a quick fix society. We want it done yesterday for free in the mail, and
Yep.
We do.
And
Yeah.
so,
Well, I think there's a lot of pills that you can take to help your back, right?
there's definitely a lot of pills.
There's a song out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of pills, and Americans have an insatiable appetite for a lot of that.
I take Advil for an afternoon snack. Is that wrong?
Oh my God, Stephanie.
Depends on what your goals are, right?
My diet.
Yeah.
So I mean, most people, at least, I brought in a little poll today that was done by Gallup in September 2015. Palmer Chiropractic College actually commissioned a study, and now it shows that over 2/3 of the country are either have used or using and understand that chiropractic and natural medicine are viable options to not only address musculoskeletal pain, but to really improve your quality of life and other chronic conditions as well, depending on what type of practitioner you go to.
Yeah, so that's, Katie, my wife, is very holistic and very,
Yeah.
but
I'll vouch for that.
there's a lot of it took decades, right? Hasn't it? Or centuries probably for chiropractors and people that practice that type of medicine to get acceptance. And they still don't have acceptance in some parts, of people's minds, but it's taken forever, it seems like, to get. Now, finally, we're in this day and age, people are saying, yes, they do have a viable option for, or seeing results and things like that. It's not just like, oh, that's where the weird people go and then everybody else goes to the regular doctor, right?
Well, there's a reason and why that dogma was there in the first place. And basically it was a concerted effort by the AMA, American Medical Association, to squash the industry. They were taken to court in the 80s. They lost, and they were mandated to quit and to cease all of those types of activities. But because of the damage it did, you're right, it has taken some decades to get to the point now where we're reaching critical mass. And it is the best time ever to be a natural healthcare provider is right now, because millions of people are now flooding because they understand that health doesn't come in a bottle. There's no pill. I will contest that drugs and surgery could be free and unlimited, and it will not improve the quality of your health. And we know now that the thoughts that we think, how we move, and the food that we eat are the three most important things that are going to dictate how healthy you're going to be throughout a lifetime.
So that's worth repeating, folks, if you weren't listening to that one, for yourself, your loved ones. 3 things, if you take away anything from this show on this topic, is what? The 3 things that are most important to your health are?
It's how we move, what we eat, and the thoughts that we think are the three most important things that are going to affect your health.
Very cool, very cool. So that is, Chris, St. Paul Chiropractic and Natural Medicine Center, 464 Hamlin Avenue in St. Paul. St. Paul ST, so stpaulnaturalhealth.com, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct.
So they'll find that on our Facebook page, which is tcrealestatehour.com. And you can call us as well here at 651-400-0773. And do you get a lot of real estate agents and loan officers in there and financial planners?
Well, I'm here for a reason, so I know some, right?
Because I have a feeling that stress levels tend to cause, the higher the stress level, maybe your back might have some issues because maybe you don't think good thoughts sometimes. Maybe you don't
eat
move,
well.
and maybe you don't eat well, right? All of the above.
Well, I think it'd be a good referral for your clients, though. I mean, what a great referral when they're done moving in their house. Come and see you because they probably did throw something out of whack, moving those boxes up and down the stairs.
That's a good point.
I've done
you can attest. Well, some of you are more my age. Right? All it takes sometimes is moving one thing or getting in the car the wrong way, and it's like, ooh.
What was that? What was that?
I have pain. I didn't even know I could hurt in those places.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I got a good visual there, Stephanie. That's great. Go to YouTube. Check us out under Stock Road O'Shea Show, and you'll see what Stephanie's wearing, and all of us, and also get a good visual. Anybody else? I mean, I bought the not Little Giant stepladder. That's Robin Hardo. I bought this commercial. My back was so bad. Gosh, it must have been 4 years ago.
You bought a girdle? The girdle.
No, I like getting into the car. I couldn't even get into the car. It was literally
heat packed.
At the bottom of it. It was turned, and they would go in and they would just hammer on it to adjust it and twist it, and it'd crack and it'd feel good for like 2 hours, and then it would come back. I ended up, eating better at the time, doing more activity, but then also buying this thing online or on TV that I saw where you hang upside down.
Yep.
Inversion table.
The bottom 3 huge discs in your back, my back would just go. They would just, once I was upside down, they would just go, poof, pop, pop, pop. They would just crack, like release.
Sure.
And it felt awesome. I still have the thing. My kids now climb all over it and they want to use it,
It's used as a clothes rack, just like the treadmill.
But I mean, is that, something that people, is that kind of that inversion? Or I know you guys at chiropractic offices sometimes have that thing that pulls you, stretches you.
Table. Yeah, so I mean, I get a lot of questions about the inversion tables as well, and the decompression table is more specific, and it actually does have some evidence that it has some good therapeutic advantage for disc rehabilitation. But the problem with hanging upside down, while it decompresses you and it makes you feel better, it doesn't show any kind of lasting effect. And I think that the biggest maybe challenge with that is if people hang upside down for too long, they can have the opposite effect of what they're looking for. But I don't really have any kind of negative or real positive opinion of that in any kind of other way, except for if it makes you feel good and it gives you some relief, go for it.
Yeah, and I know
Your
that
face will turn red. Really,
Right.
right.
and I know that
Lot of luck to that
they
head.
say now too, and what I've heard from my wife, mainly I hear a lot of stuff from my wife, is children, so our kids, can go in early on to a chiropractor, right? To make sure that things are good when they're young.
And actually, just before I came in here, as I was looking for stats, it was like 213,000 more kids in the U.S. went this year compared to last year.
Really?
So it's it's coming less and less of a back pain, neck pain thing versus catch a problem when it's small, it stays small. Because when I see kids that are in their 20s come through and they've got arthritis in their neck, well, that took decades to develop. So it happened when they were a kid, or maybe even in the birth process in some instances. So yeah, I mean, just like we talked about earlier. Hey, by the time it hurts, it's like a cavity. The problem's been there for a while. It wasn't from yesterday's Snicker bar, right?
Yeah.
It was from a lifestyle that needs to be changed over time, and that's really what we focus on is lifestyle change to really make the most powerful impact.
So the way you move. I'm actually going to take that and use it. Is that okay, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris, the way you move, the way you eat, and the way you think are the biggest factors for your own personal health. So share that with a loved one or yourself and take heed to it and actually try to better things for yourself in all those ways would be great. So when we come back, this is talking about bettering yourself financially. Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo, Eric Swift, and Jeff Pico with Country Financial.
Talking IRAs.
We'll be talking, investment IRAs and some things you can do that will definitely make your life better. We'll be back soon.